Hello everyone, welcome to Filthy Clean Vegan. Today we are remastering an old favourite, the Wonky pancakes. We start off with some oat flour, which is essentially just oats blended up to form a floury, powdery consistency, adding in a bit of cinnamon, adding in a bit of baking powder. Later on in the video, we're going to add some soy milk and some agave nectar. A disclaimer right at the beginning, these vegan pancakes in general don't flip like normal pancakes, and that's just something you've got to get used to, and it's something that you'll learn how to cope with essentially. They taste just as great, it's just a little obstacle you have to overcome. I've added an agave nectar instead of sugar, but you could do what you want. You can add sugar in, you can add nothing in, and just have all the flavours come from the topping. That's 100% up to you. I try not to use too much processed sugar, and agave is great. Just mixing it all up, I'm putting it to the side. You can put it into the fridge. I know some people who like to do that while we prepare the toppings. The toppings we're using today is some caramelised fruit. We're going for apples and bananas. I've used a mandolin to slice up my apples, but if you don't have one, it's fine. Just try and slice them thinly, but obviously take care of your fingers. I think the mandolin is a great utensil to buy. You can pick them up for under £10 and you will get use out of them. I use them a lot for my recipes because I'm not very good at chopping, and this makes some really nice uniform slices. I've had the mandolin set on as wide as it goes. I'll show you in a minute how thick the apples need to be, but what you want is just a little slice like that, probably a bit thinner than you could do with a knife, but you don't want them to be too thick. You want them to soak up all the sugars. Here we're just peeling a banana and we're going to slice it diagonally into some hearty chunks. This recipe I've put all together as one dish, but you can split it and make it for two people. You might just want to do 2 bananas and 1 whole apple. Once everything's sliced, we're going to get the pan out and we're going to get it heated up. When I caramelise things, I like to do it in coconut oil just because I like the sweetness of the oil and I like the way it tastes. You can't really taste it that much, but it works a lot better than doing it in something like an olive oil because that's a bit more savoury. We're going to chuck all the apples in the pan and let them soften up with a bit of light brown sugar just to let everything caramelise together nicely. I tend to do about a teaspoon of light brown sugar, turn them all over, let them stir for a minute or so, and then add another teaspoon of the light brown sugar. Keep them moving, keep flipping them around until they're nice and soft. Experiment with the amount of sugar you want to use. You might not want to use anything at all, you might want to use loads. Whatever proportion you do will make a different flavour, will make a different texture. It's all about experimentation. Be careful not to burn these, take them off as soon as you see them starting to brown. And then we're going to do something fairly similar with the bananas, a bit more coconut oil, chuck the bananas in, but this time instead of light brown sugar, we're going to be using syrup on the bananas. So what I like to do is I like to place all the bananas flat down and then squeeze a dollop of syrup, a little pea-sized syrup on each one. Usually I use maple, but today I use fruit syrup. It's not a big deal. You could even use agave nectar. I'm sure that will work fine. Once you've added that little dollop of syrup, flip them over. As you can see, it starts bubbling up, and do it on the other side. What this does is it makes a really sticky layer on the banana, and you'll see once it starts to fry more, it will form these gorgeous dark brown strips. They look so good that you could just eat them straight out of the pan, but try not to. Try and wait at least till they're on the pancakes because they work so good alongside the pancakes. This again only takes a couple of minutes, and then you reuse the pan afterwards for the pancakes. It's quite a quick dish, to be honest, for your breakfast, and it is only one pan because you keep using the same one over and over again. Once they're starting to darken in the brown, take them out and take them out. When it comes to cooking the pancakes, I prefer to do it in a bit of butter instead, just because that's what I like the taste of. Shove a bit of butter on your pan and then use a spoon to stir out 1 pancake. Once it starts to bubble and you can tell the underside is cooked, flip it. Like I said, it is a lot harder to flip these pancakes. It's mainly just because of the components in them, but I like to use a spatula and a knife or something just to edge the pancake on, as you see. The main problem is that it looks a bit wrinkly when you turn it over, but that's why they're wonky pancakes. You will get better with time and it does not affect the taste whatsoever. Once it's cooked on both sides, stack all the pancakes up on top of each other, drizzle over some syrup, get all your fruit on there, add a bit of blueberry. I like to put Nutella. If you like maple syrup, put that on. Whatever you want to put on the dish, it works great. Enjoy these pancakes, they're a real treat breakfast.